Hi, I'm Morgan Adessa, founder and principal of Substratum Health. If you're watching this video, I hope it means you're considering my Level 1 Reiki for Self-Care course, either for yourself or someone you care about. It can be difficult to choose an online course, particularly for something like Reiki, which is really new territory for a lot of people. In this video, I hope to answer some of the questions you might have about the course and give you a sense of my teaching style and what I'm about. I took my first Reiki class 8 years ago. I was doing a practicum at an integrative medicine center in Washington, D.C. as part of a physiology master's degree I was finishing at Georgetown. They had a Reiki master working there, and she offered to train me in Level 1 Reiki. At the time, I wasn't intending to do anything with the Reiki training. I had been practicing another form of energy work for a few years, and I was very passionate about it. But I accepted the Reiki teacher's offer, mostly out of curiosity about how Reiki compared to the other energy healing practice, especially since Reiki was being offered to patients at GW Hospital across the street. As part of my Level 1 Reiki training, I was required to practice on myself daily and keep a journal about my experiences, which I did for about 4 months. I still have those notes, and when I read them now, I'm kind of astonished that I discontinued my practice when the training was over, because the results I recorded were so significant. But I guess life got busy and I let the practice go. I continued developing a number of other self-care practices in the years that followed, including Qigong, meditation, and yoga. And from time to time, I used my energy healing abilities to help people I knew who were experiencing major health crises. But I kind of forgot all about my Reiki training. And then one day, I picked up a book on Reiki, and suddenly I knew it was the missing piece of my self-care regimen. I immediately signed up for advanced training, completed Reiki Master-Teacher certification, and I've been practicing self-Reiki every day since. When I decided to devote a large part of my healing practice to educating people about self-care, I knew Reiki had to be the first self-care practice I would teach. There are a lot of incredibly powerful energy and spirit-based practices to choose from, but what I truly love about self-Reiki is its unbelievable simplicity. It's really almost effortless, so there's never a day when I just don't feel like doing it, which, to be honest, can be an obstacle for me at times with all of my other practices, but not Reiki. And yet, as easy as self-Reiki is to practice, I know that it's always doing something. It's always having a positive effect on my well-being. Not because I read somewhere that it does, or because someone told me it does, but because I can feel it. Some days the experience is more subtle than others, but I always feel more relaxed, refreshed, and in balance after a self-Reiki session. And I can give myself little Reiki tune-ups at any time of day, pretty much anywhere, and no one even has to know I'm doing it. I don't think I can say that about another practice. Whether your goal is to learn Reiki for yourself or to help someone else or to eventually become a professional practitioner, the first, and I would say most important step, is to spend some time engaging with Reiki energy on a regular basis and noticing the effect it has on your own physical and emotional well-being. The more you practice, the more you notice how it makes you feel, and then the more you want to practice. At least that's how it was for me. I believe that absolutely anyone can benefit from a regular self-Reiki practice. I doubt there's anyone who couldn't use help staying in balance, especially these days. But I specifically designed this course for those who are seeking relief from the symptoms of chronic stress, pain conditions, or who are dealing with a difficult diagnosis. I realized early on when I was starting out as an acupuncturist that regulating a person's energy, or qi flow, with acupuncture techniques can bring about dramatic improvements in mental and physical well-being, sometimes very quickly. But often, when the underlying causes of the person's symptoms, whether it's lifestyle choices, ongoing stressful circumstances, maybe a job the person really doesn't like. When those conditions persist, the symptoms will eventually return. With Reiki, I find that patients can better manage their symptoms on their own between acupuncture treatments, and sometimes they can go longer and longer periods without returning for acupuncture. This might not be the best business model for my acupuncture practice, but honestly, nothing makes me happier than to see people feeling better and being empowered to care for themselves on their own terms. Many level 1 Reiki classes are taught in a 1 or 2 day workshop format. And for many people who are highly motivated to begin with, this is a perfectly adequate way to learn basic Reiki practice. The mechanics are not difficult or time-consuming. I've actually taught a crash course in as little as 2 hours under special circumstances, and that person was able to use self-Reiki to help manage the stress and side effects of cancer treatment. So I know it can be done. But my primary goal in designing this course was to assist those who are new to Reiki in establishing a regular self-care practice. I've been a practitioner of Reiki and other energy-based healing practices for about 15 years. I've witnessed and personally facilitated healings that many would consider miraculous, and those moments are always exciting. But what I've come to appreciate more and more is the incredible power of a consistent self-healing practice. Reiki helps bring us back into balance, physiologically and emotionally, and the effects are cumulative. My course takes place over a 3-week period in order to give you a chance to notice how a daily practice might bring about observable changes in your body, mind, and mood. When I began practicing daily, I was pleasantly surprised by the changes I noticed. For example, I've always tended to feel cold. I was one of those people wearing a jacket when it's 70 degrees out. Within 2 weeks of daily self-Reiki, I noticed that wasn't the case anymore. My husband knew something was really different with me when he saw me wearing a t-shirt and shorts in our living room in mid-January. Previously, I would always be wrapped in a big faux fur blanket wearing multiple layers. I couldn't explain it any other way. It had to be the Reiki because nothing else had changed. Anyway, that was my experience. Everyone's experience is different. But over the course of the 3 weeks, I hope you'll be able to bring your own observations to the class, and we can talk about the physiological principles that might be behind them. I have studied Reiki with 3 different teachers, each of them excellent and very different from each other. There are probably thousands of Reiki teachers in this country, and I'm guessing as many different ways of teaching Reiki. So it wouldn't really be fair or accurate for me to compare my course to others, but I can tell you a little bit about what my course offers. For those who are interested in becoming Reiki practitioners, this course is equivalent to any other Reiki Level 1 course. It covers the same core topics, an overview of what Reiki is, a brief discussion of its history, how to perform a complete self-treatment, and how to perform a hands-on treatment for another person. Because I'm a science nerd, my course also includes an exploration of some of the scientific principles and research that might help those who are new to Reiki wrap their heads around how something so seemingly simple can have such a profound and observable impact on our well-being. But don't worry, there won't be a test. I also include a brief introduction of animal Reiki. It's no secret that I am crazy about dogs. Many of us love our pets like family, so it was important to me to highlight some of the ways we can use Reiki to support our animal companions. When my Great Dane Bodhi began struggling with back pain and joint stiffness, it was breaking my heart to see him suffering, and none of the vets I took him to were able to help him. I started offering him daily Reiki, and right away I noticed a difference. He gets around now with much more ease, clearly experiencing less pain, and even at 9 years old, which is pretty old for such a large breed, he's enjoying long walks like he used to when he was younger. He really seems to enjoy our Reiki sessions. We have a daily routine where he lies in his bed in front of the television, and often I get to catch up on my favorite shows while he receives Reiki. That's how easy Reiki practice is. Working with him is part of my downtime, so it's a win-win for both of us. I offer the course in 4 3-hour sessions. Each session will include an informational lecture with time for questions. And each session, you'll also receive a level 1 attunement, a spiritual and energetic initiation that activates your innate Reiki sensibilities. Afterward, each student will have an opportunity to share what the experience was like for them. Most people find the attunement very relaxing. It can be interesting to hear about how others felt some of the same things you did, and often very different things as well. Starting with the first class, I'll also lead the class through a self-Reiki routine, which can be practiced on or off camera, however you're most comfortable. In between classes, you'll be asked to practice the self-Reiki routine for at least 20 minutes a day and to keep notes about what you notice. Research shows that it takes at least 3 weeks to establish a new habit. My goal is to support and motivate you for the duration of this course so that by the time it's over, you are well on your way to having a Reiki self-care practice that will be there for you for the rest of your life. If there's something about this course and what I've just shared with you that is resonating or feels like it's calling forth a curiosity within you, there's more information about the mechanics of the course and my background on my website, substratumhealth.com. So I encourage you to check that out. You're also welcome to email me directly with any questions you might still have. My email is morgan@substratumhealth.com. I'm happy to help you figure out if this is right for you. Thanks for watching.